So, take a wild guess on what today's video topic is. I wonder, what could it possibly be? Hey guys, obviously, in case you haven't guessed, today I'm talking about everyone's favorite doctor, the Doctor, Doctor Who. I had to think what the hell I could possibly say that would make sense to you guys and get you to understand how awesome, obnossome, this show is. Like, whew, let's see. Well, I'll start about how I got into Doctor Who. I've always been, like I said, a big nerd, big geek, whatever you want to call it. And I've heard of Doctor Who. Like, I knew what it was. I didn't know what it was, but I knew of it. You know, I've heard enough references. Oh my God, Doctor Who. Because, you know, I like Star Trek. I wouldn't say I'm a Trekkie, but, like, I like Star Trek, you know. But, you know, I've always heard, oh, you got to watch Doctor Who. You know, Doctor Who's awesome. Doctor Who's cool, blah, blah, blah. But from what I knew, it's like Star Trek. Like, I knew it started way back in the 60s. And it's, like, thousands of hours of episodes. And so I'm thinking it's like this huge thing that I'm going to have to sit down. Like, I had no desire to watch like 50 years worth of things. Because I'm the type of person where if I get involved, like if I watch something, I have to watch the whole thing. Like, for example, True Blood. I heard about the show. I was like, oh my God, this looks really cool. I like vampires. I'm going to watch it. So I watched it. Oh my God, I have to read the books because I'm watching the show. Read the books ruined the show for me. I haven't watched it since, I can't even tell you last episode I watched, because I read the books and the show went so far off the books that I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. So needless to say, I was like, yeah, no, can't do it. Too many episodes, no. So, you know, I didn't really watch it. And, you know, over the years, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they brought it back in 2005. And then it was a big resurgence again. Like, oh my God, you have to watch Doctor Who, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll get around to it. Like, it wasn't on my list of things to do, you know? Like, I have more important things to do. I'm trying to find a job, you know? Whatever. I have more important things to do. I ain't had time for no Doctor Who. So then, Matt came, what was that, 2008? I can't remember exactly what year, because I wasn't watching it then. And then, once again, it was like a Doctor Who bomb went off. And I like rewind. My favorite website is ThinkGeek. Like, if I had money, like unlimited resources, I would buy the entire catalog of ThinkGeek. So, you know, they would send me emails. Doctor Who, ThinkGeek. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And like, whatever. So, you know, and then Big Bang Theory, you know, they talk about it. And I'm like, oh my God. So, when I moved here, and I remember the day, I was at my aunt's house, and we had gone to spend time with my aunt. My grandmother had just had surgery. Went time to see my Aunt Marcy in North Carolina, in Maryland. And I'm sitting there on the couch, and there was nothing to do, because not necessarily there was nothing to do, but, you know, we were just relaxing, not really doing nothing. So I was on Netflix, and I was like, you know what? Let's check out Doctor Who. Why not? You know, so I'm not going to start from the beginning. You know, I'll just start from, because, you know, I had talked to a couple people online. They were like, you don't even have to start. Don't start from the 60s. You can start from the 2005 when they redid it. And I'm like, but I don't want to. I want to start from, no, it's okay. You know, you won't be lost. You'll completely get it. Just start from 2000. Fine, whatever. I'll do it one day. So this particular day, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll start watching Doctor Who. Like, and I'm thinking, like, this is, yeah, really? So, you know, I start watching. And, you know, the first episode was Rose. So, you know, I'm like, okay. And I like British TV. You know, I'm Anglophile. I love all things British, you know, and I'm just, I'm like, I'm gonna give this a chance. You know, I'm gonna give it a chance, whatever. So I'm watching, and I'm like, yeah. And anybody who's seen Rose knows it's like, okay, yeah, what is going on? And then you have these people, you know, and then you have, oh Lord, then you have Mickey looking like this. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, and I'm like, this is cool. You know, you got the doctor. And I'm like, okay, he's cool. Christopher Eccleston, he's cool. I like him. You know, I'm watching. I was like, okay. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to cut it off. I'm like, this is too, like my brother says, it's too campy for him. That was my first impression too. I said, this is a little bit campy, but you know, I'll give it a chance. A whole bunch of all these people can't be wrong. You know, I'll give it a chance. So, you know, I watched another episode. And I watched another episode. And before I knew it, you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm halfway through the first season, like, oh my God, what is this that I found? And that was it. I was done. I was a goner. I was a Whovian. I was sucked in. I had to know what was going on. It's been an amazing ride. Like, I love this show. Like, you know I talked about Supernatural last week. I love Supernatural, but this show, like, yeah, I cry on Supernatural. Yes, every time Dean sheds a tear, I shed a tear. Like, I cry, but I was so emotionally invested in this show. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, my first major breakdown was the end of the first series, and I was like, what? No, not already. Well, let me rewind before I even go back there. The premise of the show is you have this man. He's called the Doctor. Like, oh, Doctor Who. Yeah, that's a running gag. Whatever. He's called the Doctor. He's a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey, and you know he has this blue box. It's called the TARDIS. And the picture that I just showed you, that's the technically he's the current Doctor. He's the 11th incarnation, I guess you want to call it, of the Doctor. And pretty much he goes in his TARDIS, and the TARDIS stands for time and relative dimension in space. It's a time machine / spaceship / house / swimming pool / library. Like, it's his home, I guess. And you know he goes around to different planets and saves the world a whole bajillion bunch of times. And you know he brings different companions along the way. You have Rose, and I'm trying to go in order. Okay, you have Rose, Mickey, Captain Jack. Well, I don't know if Captain Jack is really considered a companion, but he's Captain Jack, so you have to include him. Like, let me just say how, pause, side note here, parenthesis thingies. Okay, so Doctor Who has ruined me to the point where anytime somebody says Jack or Captain Jack, like, I automatically think of Captain. So, like, if I see a post that says, oh, you know, why didn't Rose move over so Jack can get on the little door or whatever? And I'm like, what are they talking about? Jack and Rose on the door? I'm so confused. And it takes me a second to realize that people are talking about Titanic, because my mind automatically goes to Doctor Who. But anyway, whatever. So you have, Captain Jack, you have Martha, you have Donna, let's see who else. Then you have my pawns. Oh, I love my pawns. Those are my favorite. I love my pawns. Like, I like Rose, but I love my pawns. Like, and I actually got to meet Rory. This is Rory. And this is Arthur Darvill, the guy who plays him. I actually got to meet him. He's really cool. I love him. I didn't realize he was so damn tall, but he's really cool. But I love my pawns. And now you have Clara, whatever. But yeah, and pretty much the way they set it up, which is ingenious, by the way. Like, this is, like, ingenious. He doesn't, I mean, technically he can die, but what happens is when the Doctor or another Time Lord is about to die, he has this thing called regeneration energy, which pretty much turns him into another person. So, like, you know how I said this is the 11th Doctor. Matt Smith plays the 11th Doctor. There's been 10 other Doctors before him. So, like, every time he's about to die, per se, you know, it's another incarnation that comes away. And, you know, I hate I hate the BBC. I hate Moffat for the reason they did this, but it's so beautiful. Like, because when you first watch it, when 9 turns into 10, you're like, oh, okay, it's sad, but you know, he walks away. And then when David regenerates, he goes, it's like dying. I become a whole different person. And I'm like, no! Like, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, and then now we have a new doctor, Peter Capaldi, which I'm so excited to see. Oh my god, this is going to be so cool. Like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But, yeah, I don't. He pretty much he goes in his TARDIS and he saves planets and all these things, but like it's just you get so emotionally invested in these characters and these storylines, and oh my god, what the hell is wrong with me? How did I forget about River? Okay, you have River too. River is spoilers. Like I can't talk about River. River is awesome. That's what I will say. River is awesome. I actually made a movie about River, but don't watch it unless you have seen Doctor Who. I'm gonna put the link down there. But it's pretty much like, you know how the timeline of River Song, like it's kind of like that, but it's like all her whole thing from the beginning to her ending so far. So yeah, watch that. It's in the link in the thingy down there. But like I said, if you haven't watched Doctor Who, don't watch it. Or if you're in the process of watching it, don't watch it because it has everything in it. But yeah, it I've never had a show affect me emotionally so much. Like it's like I said, the end of series 1, I was in tears. The end of series 2, I was inconsolable. Like, and nobody else at this time, like when I was watching it, nobody in real life, like I could go online and talk to all these people, but nobody in real life I could talk to and be like, oh my god, like I'm talking tears, like these are people I know, like it's ridiculous. And I tried to get my best friend. I'm like, Ashley, you have to watch Doctor Who. Like, you have to. And she's like, I don't really like sci-fi, and it's scary. And you know, to be fair, you know, it does have monsters and things, and so it is a little bit scary. But I mean, it's good. And I'm like, you have to watch. Ashley, you don't understand. Like, well, what is it about? I can't explain it to you. You just have to freaking watch it. Like, you just have to watch it. Watch it, damn it. So she finally watched it and she's like, oh my god. I was like, I told you. So she gets to the part that I got to in the series 2, and she's like, she calls me, and I was in a banquet, and she called me, she's like, oh my god, I just watched Doomsday. And her and her daughter are like, they're both in tears, like, oh my god. I was like, I know, right? So, you know, I've never had a show that emotionally affected me so much as Doctor Who. And it's just like, I was going through a really, really, really tough time. And I can honestly say that between Doctor Who and Supernatural, like, it really helped me through it. And I know it's crazy to say, oh yeah, TV show helped, but like, just to have those moments of escape where I can escape my life and go on these adventures with the Doctor and pretend I'm a companion, you know, and you know, it's a really awesome show. I really recommend it. It's a really, 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 really good show. My doctor, you know, everybody has their doctor. My doctor is David Tennant. He was the 10th Doctor. He was just awesome. Awesome. I mean, he was just. He will always be the Doctor to me. Like, I love Matt, and like when Matt first came, like when I was watching it, well, when he first came for me, when David regenerated into Matt, it was kind of like, no, David's my Doctor. I don't like Matt. And, you know, and I liked him, but he wasn't my Doctor, you know. And then, but towards the end of series 7, like series 7, it was just, I don't know. He's, especially when I got to Nightmare in Silver, I was just done. I was like, oh my god, this is the Doctor, you know. It's, and I'm not saying I didn't like him. I did like him, but he wasn't my Doctor. But when I watched The Name of the Doctor, I was like, oh my god, like him and David were like here to me, like. And David's maybe like a little bit higher, but like he's a very close. Matt is a very close second to me. Like it was just like I was in tears. Like David made me cry all the time, but that was the first time that Matt actually made me cry, because I was like, oh my god, it was ridiculous. But and I realized that talking about all this crying does not make you want to go watch it. But trust me, it is so worth it. Like, it's a really, really, really good show. And she said the same thing when she was watching Rose. She's like, "What do you have? Give it a chance. Give it a chance." So this is a public announcement from all Whovians to you who are going to start watching it, because I said so, and you must to complete your life. um, watch Rose. If you can make it through Rose, I guarantee you, you will be rewarded. Like, you will be rewarded. I promise. It's really good. It's a really good show. But yeah, that's my. I'm not gonna say downward spiral, because it's not a downward spiral, but that's my spiral into Whovianism, and I love it. And there's no going back. I'm so excited for the future of Doctor Who. Like I said, Peter Capaldi, awesome. I know a lot of the girls, oh, he's too old. Who cares? Like, the guy, he's a Time Lord. He's 1103 years old. Like, what do you want them to get, a mummy to play him? Like, it's not about the guy being hot. You know, it's about the storyline. The doctor. The doctor is old. You know, the first guy was same age, 55. So, but yeah. Watch Doctor Who. Doctor Who is awesome. And that's all I have to say about that. But, yeah, as always, leave your comments below. Tell me about, you know, your Doctor Who experiences, and I really like to know not necessarily what made you get into Doctor Who, but like what's your, like what drives you to love it so much. Like, mine is, I'm so emotionally invested with these characters and with the Doctor himself that, you know, I cannot imagine. And it's to the point now, it's like, how did I go X amount of years in my life and not watch Doctor Who? Like, yeah, people told me, yeah, oh, you have to watch it, but how did I not watch it? Like, I don't understand. Like, I just want to go back and kick myself and say, what the hell's wrong with you? Watch Doctor Who. Like, seriously, like, but my kids won't have that problem, because they'll be growing up watching Doctor Who. They ain't gonna have no choice. So, but see, and I said that's all I had to say about that, and I'm steady talking, but that's really all I have to say about that. You guys have a good evening. Thank you for watching. Woohoo!